Hello, my name is Jessica from Sew Sweet Quilt Shop, and I'm on my dining table in my house. This is real life sewing for you today. I'm going to show you how to do a vine or stems on an applique project without using a bias maker. A bias maker is a little tool that you buy. It's made by Clover, and there's some other brands too, but the ones that I have are Clover. They're not real expensive, $7 maybe for one, but you end up with a lot of them. And it's just another step that you have to do when you're doing any type of applique. I enjoy needle turn applique, and I want that to make that process as quick as I can because I want to move on to my next needle turn project. And so using the bias maker is just another step for me to have to do. And I sometimes struggle with getting it to be an even stitch on both sides and accurate, and so I have found a way to do it easier. And so I'm going to show you that today. If you're doing the block of the month with us, a graceful stitch, that's the block that I'm going to be working on, block 1 in that. And if you're not, this is just a nice method to use when you're doing any type of applique, needle turn or machine. You can do it either way. Another reason that I really like to use this method that I'm going to teach you today is because you only end up needle turning one side of your stem or your vine or your wreath. Because in the process we're going to be sewing on one side, and so then you just needle turn the other side. So that's really exciting to only have to do one side, and you're then moving on to your next project more quickly. The pattern tells you to cut your strip or to use a 1/4 inch bias maker, which I talked earlier that this is a bias maker. So if your pattern says to use a 1/4 inch bias maker, what they want you to do is cut your strip 3/4 of an inch. They want you to allow a 1/4 of an inch on each side, so whenever you turn that under, you're getting a 1/4 inch strip. So that is what I do on the exact same thing. If it says to use a 1/4 of an inch bias maker, you're going to cut your strips 3/4 of an inch. The first step is to cut your bias strips, and so this is just a little piece of scrap fabric that I'm going to show you with. So it looks like this, and you're going to cut it on the bias, and so you just cut it across.
What are you doing?
Good morning, Clara. How are you? I'm doing a video. You want to sit here with me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you're just going to cut it on the bias like this, and that gives it a stretch. So you're just cutting it at an angle. I'm going to talk to you for a minute about how I get my lines on here so I know where to put my pieces at when it's time to do that. I use a Sew Line chalk pencil, and so the lead, it writes like a pencil, and it will come off with water, so I don't have to worry about ironing it and it disappearing. And then it comes in different colors, so this one's black, but I have red and white lead that will go in it too. The other trick that I have is anytime I'm doing a wreath, I will get a circle something out of my pantry. You could also create some circle templates with freezer paper and use those again and again, but I find this just as easy. So I have found one that will fit where I want my wreath, and so I would just trace that on, go all the way around it. You know, once again, I'm just trying to make this fast because I want to move on to my next project. I want to enjoy this process, but also get to the next thing that I want to do. Okay, so now I have my wreath circle on there, and then in order to get the lines that I need for my stems, I'm just going to free line those on. It comes with a template that looks like this. And so if you weren't comfortable to just freehand those, you could use a light box to get the exact lines, or you could put it against a window, put this against a window and then put your fabric on top so the light shines through. but I'm just going to freehand those designs, or those lines. So here's my first line, and then those lines are going to come out like that, and I'll go around and do all of them that way. So now it's time to do the trick that I'm going to show you. So I've cut my pieces on the bias so they're nice and stretchy. I have looked at my template and I know how long I need the strips to be. I've drew my line on there, and so on this particular piece we're going to sew on all of the stems first. And so you just put this on right sides together. You're going to line up the edge with the line that you drew, just like that, and I'm going to put a pin in it. Okay, so it's right sides together on the line that I drew, and now I'm going to just stitch a 1/4 inch seam, an 1/8 to a 1/4 inch seam all the way down that strip. So now I'm ready to stitch, and like I said, I'm going to do about an 1/8 to a 1/4 inch seam. I'm just going to stitch straight down. I'm making an applique project. That's Clara talking to me. Okay, so I've sewn that on there, and now it will fold over like that, and I'll tuck this under and press. So I'll go over to my iron and press that, and then I'll be ready to needle turn this side, and then I don't have to needle turn anything on the other side. I'm going to show you one more time how to do this stem. So here's my bias piece, nice and stretchy. I've cut it the length that I need it. I'm going to pin it on right sides together. And now I'm going to stitch 1/4 inch to an 1/8 all the way down. Okay, so there's my stem, and then I will fold it over, and I will iron it, and then that side goes like that, and then it will look like that, and I will needle turn this side. So I've stitched it on. I'm going to show you how to iron it here. So you iron it down flat first, and then you fold this under. Give it a little finger press first, and then you're going to iron it under. Okay, so now I'm ready to go over and needle turn that edge down. So I'm going to do the same thing all the way around on each seam. Okay, now you know how to do this method. You sew on one side, and you only have to needle turn one side of your stem. Yay! Only one side! So that means it's going to speed up the process a lot. Okay, thanks for watching. Have a great day.